part of the Big Island, and we're going out to Kona for 2 weeks. So packing our bags and leaving here. It's kind of bittersweet, man. This place feels like home. Yeah, Kona's great. I've only been once years ago. Yeah, I've been to Kona once. It was years ago. So I haven't been back. I was a little kid last time I went there. I'm excited. It's been interesting, being here. I've gone on the ocean one time. Like this side of the island is just not where you go swimming or surfing. So ready to get a little tan, go surfing every day. I'm excited.
Yeah. But
how are things going on your end?
It's not like Yo, do you see the giraffe up there?
I do.
It's pretty dope.
Big old thing. Dude, my grandparents, they're 80 years old. They just got back on Wednesday from a safari out in Namibia for a month, man. They're on a month-long safari. They are two of the most dangerous people I know. They are freaking fearless. Rylan, what's up, man? Look at you, just woke up.
Dude, I've been working too much.
You pulling your hair out or what?
Yeah, lots of stress.
Oh, it's all good stress though. It's fun stress, huh?
I need a haircut too.
Yeah, I'm in a competition right now for growing out a mullet, and I'm super due for a haircut. I've gone like a year without getting the back trimmed, but I'm not losing, so I don't know how long this is gonna go. This could last a while.
Oh my god,
that's tight, guys.
What's up, Preston? You look like you got.
What's that?
So you look like you got a haircut, no?
I did get a haircut. Got a.
There you go. Look sharp.
Yeah, but I'm feeling weird. I didn't sleep well last night, so had a bout of like insomnia. I don't know what that was. So,
dude, I'm a baby when it comes to sleep. If I don't get my sleep, I'm a different person.
I was the same way, but we live right above a parking garage in New York City, and it's like whatever sound machine we get, it's just crazy.
It doesn't block it out. Yeah, I thought people become immune to that if they live in New York City long enough.
I've been here long enough, I guess.
My brother moved out of New York. His kids couldn't sleep. He moved to the suburb, and he needed to put sirens and like freaking noise on his phone for the first 2 weeks. It was quiet, and they're just not used to it.
Yeah,
and I'm serious. I'm not joking. It's like you move to the suburbs and it's quiet. Like, so they needed like.
That's funny.
I go to sleep here in LA every night because there's a bunch of homeless people like 2 blocks away, and literally every night, help, call the police. Like there's always like the first week I was like, oh my god, this is terrible, and after that it was like whatever.
You become immune to it. Yeah, it's funny being out here. This is probably one of the quietest places I've been in years. Like eerily quiet. My friend that came with me the first night we were here, she got so spooked because it's like, dude, you hear nothing. I mean, like occasionally there's like a frog chirping in the distance, but no cars, there's no light pollution, there's no noise. I love it, but yeah, for some people definitely it's a little nerve-wracking if you're used to constant stimulation. We actually the other night I left our room. It's the way the house is set up. It's weird. It's 2 stories. Top story is like the kitchen and the living room, and then you have to walk down a flight of stairs that's outside to get to the bedroom. So like they're separated. And I'd been hearing something on the roof in the middle of the night. I'm like, I know there's some wild animal on the roof, and it was loud. It's like one of those weird like fabricated metal roofs. So it's like everything is super super loud. And I get up in the middle of the night to go pee, and I still don't know what it is. It was like probably 2 or 3 times the size of a house cat sitting on a railing, but definitely not a house cat, not a raccoon either. The thing was way too fast to be a raccoon. I don't know. I'm like, do they have bobcats in Hawaii?
Chupacabras.
Chupacabras. That was my first
somewhere.
I'm like, this is some demon. I mean, it was not like an animal I could identify at all. And we got real close. I didn't even know it was on the rail.
Wait. Newsflash. Cole and I just got this guy to sign
Oh shit!
Oh,
Hell yeah!
boys. Love it. Hey,
What's
so I
up?
know we got a couple deal reviews to do. I know you guys have already got that deal locked up, but I'd love to still kind of go through it with the group. And then Preston, I know you've got a deal you want to go over as well.
Yeah, I've actually, we don't need to go through here. Rylan and Colton were nice enough to kind of walk me through it, but I'm still happy to talk about it. But
yeah, what's the verdict there? You going to move forward?
no, so basically it was it would be a tough property to probably to sell. It would take a lot of lead work. So we're passing on that. And then I got another purchase agreement back, tried to negotiate it down, but he wouldn't negotiate. So that's it right now, but still waiting for more to roll back.
Cool. Yeah, well, let's still take a peek at it. I'm curious just to get eyes on it, and then Cole will look at your deal as well. Sounds like you already got mayor's blessing on it, so I reckon it's a good deal nonetheless. But if you guys want to pop me a note in Slack with the county and parcel number, we'll get those pulled up, then we'll go through a little Q&A here.
Sure.
And I'll just talk about a few things that I'm seeing in my business. Okay, cool. Well, that's exciting, man. First deal, huh?
I'm stoked. Yeah, I mean, see what we can make of it. It should be good. I mean, this was we can talk about it now later. It seems pretty solid. It was funny. I didn't even like the guy. I was talking to him, and I thought he was just shit talking, and I was just kind of like joking around with him. And then I was like, all right, cool. Like, and I was like, you know what? I was like, no, seriously, like, we're buying some land there. And he was like,
yeah,
okay, let's work something out. And yeah, no, it was pretty good. It's 80 acres out in Texas. I think it's outside of Dallas. I'd have to check the map. Dallas, Fort Worth.
It's an hour from Dallas. It's 2.5 from Austin and 2.5 from Houston.
Nice.
Super nice.
It's three separate lots. Yeah, let me send you the Navarro County, Texas. It's 3 separate lots. I think the move over here is to try to do a minor subdivision, and try to squeeze as much as many lots as possible from those 80 acres. Try to get like at least 10 acre. Maybe we'll get like 10 acre tracts as opposed to just 3. Right now it's divided into 3. And when we do that, we'll obviously force appreciation on those deals. We'll see if we can actually pull that off. I'm gonna do something pretty creative, which is I'm gonna try to see if I can double close a subdivision. Basically, I'm going to market these parcels as if they exist already, even though they don't. And if somebody wants, you know what I mean? It's basically the equivalent of like if you have a product idea, you create a Shopify site, you put the product out there, and you see how many people click on buy now, and then you're like, if there's a demand or not. So,
Mayor, I got probably 4 or 5 buyers from last night when I was talking to people. They're like, hey, I don't have anything for sale, but I want to buy. If you divide them up, give me a call. Another person said, hey, I'm a mobile home business, and I have clients call me all day long in this part of Texas that need land for their mobile home. So I've got some leads on that too.
Love it. Yeah, that's always a funny situation. You're in a hot market when you send your mailing campaigns, and you get more buyers than you get sellers. People are like, hey, if you find land that's even close to that offer price, I'll buy it immediately.
Yeah.
I definitely.
Something I want to share with. I shared with Cole, but I think it'll be nice. I want to share with the group how I find the number 1 land agent in any area.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to go through that.
It's
I'm just getting this deal pulled up right now. My internet's horrible, but yeah, if you want to go through that,
it's a little crazy hack. But so I have a loom. I can just share the loom with everyone, but I'll do it real quick here. Basically, you go to zone, traditional listings. Let's say, what was the zip code? Let me share my screen. Give me a second here.
It's like 76693. I think is where this deal's at.
766. What is it?
Hold on, I get it. It's either 75859 or You just do that. Yeah, that'll pull it up.
Okay, so let me share my screen here real quick. Share.
Yo, Chris, I like that shirt, man.
Thanks.
Just started up to season 7 this week, so that's dope.
Just like rewatching it, or just started the first
Dude,
time?
just started. So good. It's so good.
Okay, I would do anything to trade places with someone just to rewatch that for the first time. Like I've watched it 50 times through, but being like the first time, you're a lucky man.
Oh man, dude, I know. Once I saw this was the last season, it was like, oh shoot.
Dude.
Wait, is that for The Office? Did I say Shrew Farms?
Yeah.
Shrew Farms Bed and Breakfast. Dude, you know what's funny? So I would say that's my favorite show as well. They took it off of Netflix, obviously, and I haven't watched it in probably a year and a half, 2 years. We come up to the Airbnb and they have every single season of The Office. And so I'm so fired up. I put it in. I'm like, oh, let's go. It's all in black and white. So I watched like 5 episodes in black and white, which I have no idea. I have no idea why it was in black. It's like a bootleg copy or something like that.
Bro, it's probably your TV setting. It's just like black and white.
Yeah. Dude, my favorite show, hands down.
Yeah. I will tear up every time I watch the last episode. Like literally every time. I'm not kidding. Like I cannot watch like an animal die in a movie or the last episode of The Office.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, Mary, take it away, man.
You're muted.
Oh, sorry. I had to restart my my Chrome. Anyway, okay. So what was the zip code?
75859.
Okay, you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so you go in zone, you put, let's say, the zip code, the area, a little bit where this is. So this thing is over here. It's between Richland and Fairfield. Okay, but this area basically. So now we go more filters. We select land. We do sold in the last 12 months. That's what we want to do. For some reason, it doesn't have any sold data. Whatever. I don't know why, but there isn't any sold data right now. Doesn't matter. All the listing. You want to basically see who's the most active guy here or gal. So you go here, you click show more, and then you click show more. Basically, you load every single listing up here. Then you click on list, and then this is the weird part. You go Command A, Command C, and then you literally open numbers. New, create, and you go here and you put Command V. And now you delete everything that isn't I'll show you anything that isn't agent related. So you go all the way down here. It might be easier if I just do this. Up until there we go. Up until here is all extra stuff. So you just delete that. And then from here, yeah, great. So now you have basically agent address, agent address, agent address. So now you go here, select ascending. So here are all the agents. And now you do a little, so now you delete everything that isn't agents. Okay, so there's 65 agents that I pulled. Oh, and there's more. Okay, till here, delete. Usually you can just do it in one shot. Okay, yeah, there we go. So it all makes sense in a second. Okay, so now I have basically a list of all the agents that have land listings in that area. Now I'm gonna put a formula over here, and this formula, what it's gonna do is going to put a number next to each agent, how many times it shows up, right? So if Aaron Marigus has 17 listings, he's going to show up 17 times. So there's going to be a number 17 here. And then I sort it from A to Z, and then I basically see who the top agents are. Is everyone
That's super clever.
I can see you.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to get the code that I write is, give me a second. It's not a code, it's a formula. So that is equals, and then it's count if, yeah, A, comma, A1, on that condition. There we go. Right, I don't know why it's not working, but here, a second.
So why do you use this site over Redfin or Zillow? It's just easier to sort the agents or to copy all the agents' names?
Yeah, because basically they all show up. The agents show up on the computer that I'm using. That's why it's not really allowing me to do it. Let me do it here. Let me just finish it real quick. I'm gonna log out of here. Sorry about that. And I'm just gonna finish this.
That's super interesting. The site, I already use this one.
What's it called?
Yeah, do you guys see it now?
Yep.
Hello? Yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
So count if A1. So this guy shows up once, but if I scroll this all the way down, right? So you have people who show up once, twice, 6 times. Okay, so now I'm gonna copy this and I'm going to paste it here. File. How do you paste values only? I guess. No, that didn't work. Copy.
I only know how to do it in Excel.
File. Paste formula results. There we go. And now we're going to sort descending. All right. So Rachel Anderson has 6 listings. Yesterday we found one that had like 17 listings because this doesn't have a lot of data. This is only 60 agents, but if you download all 250, then it becomes really cool. So like you have Rachel Anderson, you have Janie Hendricks, and then that's it. And then you have 4s and 3s. So now what we do is we go to Rachel Anderson, and we go back to here, right? And then we Command F, and then we search for Rachel Anderson, and then we look at her listings, right? And see, like, are they good listings? They look pretty good. Like, look at this one, for example. It's got like nice pictures, lot lines, etc., right? And we know that she shows up actually 13 times, right? Because we didn't download all the data, but she shows up 13 times here. So we know that she's pretty good. So we're just gonna call her, right? Because she has a bunch of listings, she has good listings. And if she doesn't answer or she's not interested, then we just go back and we go to this guy. I've done this many times now, and it has saved me a ton of time finding really land specialized agents. Again, somebody who has like 30, 40 land listings in a certain area, you know that they know land, and you look at their, you understand what I'm saying? Otherwise, just like, I'd rather call an agent that has a lot of land listings than call an agent that has 2 or 3, but they're next to mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's pretty slick. I mean, right now, what we've been doing is all just through land.com. It's definitely not as scaled up as that is. It's kind of a little more bespoke, going one by one. And even then, it's like occasionally you just find a dud. Or I'd say more likely, occasionally you find someone that's great. More commonly, you find duds. So yeah, that's super helpful. I like that process. I mean, truth be told, we don't use realtors much in our business because every time I've had a sour experience. But I think if you find a phenomenal land specific realtor, can add so much value to your process.
Yeah,
especially for the bigger deals. Like,
yeah, with subdivisions,
Yeah,
you kind of want,
yeah,
like, yeah, you want them for the subdivisions a little bit.
Yeah, I think having that like kind of inside information, that specific knowledge of what land is trading for in the area, but also like for some of our more premium lots, going and seeing the property is a prerequisite for a buyer, obviously. But in some cases, people don't know how to use coordinates, they don't know how to get there. So having a realtor actually go show them the property is pretty darn helpful. If you guys want to look in the chat, I just put in a few findings from the property out in Texas. So super interesting setup here. Definitely primed for a subdivide with a county road frontage. It's nice too, because I think what's like Highway 45 is super close to the property, so really easy for folks to get to. I take it, man, you're probably going to go vertical with how you top these up. Is that right?
Yeah, because they need road frontage.
Yeah. So the only trouble is on the last lot, there is like one of those vertical subdivides is going to be entirely in the flood zone. I don't know what kind of flood zone that is, but would be worth looking into. The topography is super nice too. There's only one of the lots that has like a really gentle roll to it, but nothing substantial. The market out here is weird. Looking at just the disparity of active versus listing, or active versus what's sold. There's a active 47 acre that I put in the chat. Super nice lot from what I can see at 8K an acre. So I feel like the play here, the exit strategy is definitely is to subdivide it. I don't know. I wasn't seeing much at that size range trading for 10K an acre. But if you chop it up into 10 acre increments, the cheapest real listing is about 150K that's listed right now for a 10 acre. It's a 9.69 acre. There is one kind of so-so listing that's at 10K an acre roughly. And then there's some sold comps at 13K an acre for 10 acres. So, I mean, it looks like it's almost a double your money situation if you do chop it up. I don't know. Were you guys seeing stuff consistently at 10K though, at 80 acres?
So I was seeing a lot of stuff. My marketing was 9 to 33 acres. So this guy happened to have a couple 20 acres. I think he had a 20 and two 26s to add up to 80. So that's the comps that we were pulling. And then I saw, and Mir pointed it out, these were last listed amount from Redfin. It wasn't actually sold from Redfin. It was 10K all day long, and that was the lowest ones. There was some at 13 and 14, but I got rid of those and just assumed 10 at the lowest. And then when I talked to a bunch of people, I probably had 10, 15 people in that market who were like offended. They're like, land goes for 10K an acre here, buddy. And so that was pretty common for them. So
okay. Mayor, what were you saying? Were you saying 10K an acre in that 3 acre or that 3 units that you have now?
Yeah, so it's Texas, so it's non-disclosure, so it's kind of a little bit hard to see exactly what things sold for, which is why we need an agent to tell us. You know.
Yeah. So on Redfin in Texas, even though it's non-disclosure, you can still see like the last list price. So of course, we don't know if that's a contract price. Just assume it's probably a little bit lower in some situations. I also look at like, so when I'll show you guys my screen here.
There's also days on market. It's another nice one.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was going to say. So what I look at for like if I'm on, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, you can.
Oh yeah. So yeah, when I'm on Redfin in Texas, like a lot of non-disclosure states on Redfin will just show a big fat 0. Texas is one of the few where you can actually see something. The way I try to validate if the comp is quote unquote real is just looking at the days on market. So if it sat out there for 175 days, odds are it probably sold lower than the last list price. August to contract in October 25th, I wouldn't be surprised if it sold pretty close to that 210 number, 200, somewhere in there. So I look at the days on market to kind of just validate if I'm even in the realm of possibilities for what the sold price, the last list price is showing. And then you can use the HAR website as well in Texas. That's pretty helpful, but nothing beats getting realtor comps. Yeah, I think subdivided, this is a pretty juicy deal. I'm going to be curious to see how that plays out doing it as a double close. I know some areas in Texas, you've got to be on title to go through the subdivision process. I don't know if that's the case in Navarro County. Mayor, do you know? Navarro County?
I don't in Navarro County, but I don't necessarily need to subdivide. I could be on title when it's subdivided, but what I want is I want to market it before it's even subdivided.
Right. Yeah.
Once someone sends me a purchase agreement, earnest money, I'll buy it and I'll chop it up.
Totally. That's essentially how this entire course came to be about a year ago, last fall. It was, hey, will someone pay me if I create this? And prior to creating it, someone paid me, and I'm like, okay, that's enough validation. So yeah, I think same kind of principle here. Hey, Preston, do you want to shoot in the 2 properties that you have out in? Looks like you sent me one of them out in Cherokee County. You want to send the one that you got today as well?
Yeah.
Take a look at it.
Yeah, I'll shoot that to you. That was.
And then, how many?
I actually need to jump off.
Send?
I have a call in 2 minutes, but thanks everyone.
Good seeing you, brother. Okay, man.
Later.
Yeah. How many mailers did you send in the first go around?
For that North Carolina spot, I've sent about, I think it was like 750, and then this other one I'll get over to you. It's just north of there in Georgia.
Okay.
And that was like 800.
Okay, cool.
That
So from the 750 letters, you got one signed purchase agreement, and how many leads have you got?
total, or just out of that market?
Just out of that market, just from that 750 letters.
Just that one.
Okay, cool. We'll take it. I mean, 750 letters to a signed contract's not too bad. Looks like this is in a subdivision. Do you know the subdivision name?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Do you know if there's a HOA or POA out here?
Yeah, there was an HOA. Is like $75. I think it was mostly just for the roads, but
yeah, $75 annually or monthly?
Annually, I think.
Okay, cool.
That sound right?
All right. I think I'm pretty sure I've done deals out here before, actually. Yeah, I definitely have. Okay, so we've got Swiss, Cane River, Wolf Creek. Where the heck is this? Hot House. Oh, sorry, the wrong area. Hold up, I think.
Where's the APN shared?
I just sent it to him. I can throw it in.
In Slack or in the chat here?
Yeah, if you want to throw a chat,
Sure.
so everyone,
Yeah.
take a look.
Cole, also, can you send that APN
Okay,
to the Texas one?
The APN of the Texas one, sure.
Yeah.
Don't send it to Rylan. He's gonna try to snag your deal.
You helping
All
subdivide?
right.
I'm the master in Navarro.
Really?
Okay, where is this at? 50 is down there. All right. You said you saw some comps in the subdivision, yeah?
So there were some comps just south of there in that subdivision. I think land.com was the only one that actually had comps like in that, like directly next to it.
And your contract price on this was like 8K or something?
Yeah, we settled at 8K. It was originally like 73, but yeah.
Yeah. So he bid you up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So this.
I just got a call from a seller for a county that I have not mailed. So I don't know how that happened. Saying they would like
Maybe
to
they just
accept
know
my
you buy
offer.
land. They're calling.
So I'm gonna call him back and just act like I'm that person.
I've had something similar like that happen before. I think sometimes. Yeah, if it's a nice piece of land, why not? Have you
if you're looking to sell it?
Yet?
No, I mean
Yeah.
I don't know where Lancaster County is. I don't know what state he's talking about. Literally, I have not
that's
mailed
in
Lancaster County.
I think is Lancaster County. Is that in California or is that in LA County?
Bro, there's one in California,
Oh,
Pennsylvania, North Carolina. There's a lot.
The one with all the
Okay.
Amish people is in Pennsylvania.
All right,
That's the big one. That's where everyone is
So
driving.
you've got a 3. What, horse and buggies?
Yeah. Yeah, you go to the Walmart in Lancaster and it's just horse and buggies, like quarter of the parking lot.
Awesome.
That sounds like your kind of town, no?
Oh, I'm not Amish, but I like it rural.
I know you do. Just giving you a hard time. All right, so this is Preston's got a 3-acre here. Yeah, like you said, nothing on the MLS that I can find in the last year that's in the same subdivision. If we zoom out and look, like, I'll share my screen with you guys.
Sumner, where am I dropping
Sorry, my
this
internet is-
this APN? Just right in the regular chat.
Yeah, you just put it in chatter.
Okay.
All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So this is going to ascend from most recent to let's go most recently sold. So yeah, we're zoomed out. We're probably looking at like a 20-mile radius or so, but we're really all the action's happening down here. Preston, this is the subdivision that you're in here, I believe.
Yep.
There's another little chopped up area down here. So you got this oddball comp at 8,500. I reckon the topography is pretty wacky on this one. Boom, boom, boom. 3-bedroom septic in place. Private. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it looks super steep. This is definitely in a subdivision. Yeah, Wolf Mountain, $42 a month. See how long it's sat on the market for. Listed in July, listed at 10K. You hate to see this. Sold for 33 grand in 2004. You see that a lot in North Carolina. I think prior to the 08 bust, there was a ton of folks on the East Coast buying land in North Carolina as like vacation properties. And I think times were just so good that money was flooding in. So a lot of the North Carolina deals that we see, it's either old family land that's been held for 75 years, 100 years, or we see these people that bought them for egregious amounts prior to 2008 and they're just looking to get out of them. It looks like that's the case here. So something interesting just to note, listed at 10, pending, then relisted, pending again, sold. That tells me there's probably something funky about this lot. I'm guessing it's the topography just based off of those pictures. So this one, we'll keep it in mind. It's definitely, you don't want to see that, but I would take this one with a grain of salt, just depending on how your property sits. And we'll look at that in a second here. 2-acre at 15K. I'm assuming this has got topography issues as well. This is in the same subdivision, Wolf Creek Mountain Estates. Let's see, this looks pretty steep here. Yeah, this is your classic Western North Carolina land on the side of a hill. And
you said you got this for 8,500, Preston?
Yeah, right. Yeah, 8K.
8K?
Yeah.
Yeah, Preston, take a look at this too. So same story here, right? Listed at 18, sold at 15, but in 2005 it was bought for 48.5.
Dude, that's wild.
You see these a lot in the subdivision.
That's pretty wild.
And so you can be pretty darn aggressive with your offers. These people typically just want to recoup something in these subdivisions. It's not true for like the more unrestricted North Carolina land, but stuff in the subdivisions seems like people just want to get out of these things. Yeah, okay. I mean, realistically, this is probably worth 20 to 25 is what I would peg it at, just based on what I'm seeing for the sold comps. Let's go look at what our quote unquote competition would be.
Something else when it's this,
go ahead.
It doesn't work for this particular lot, but it has in the past for me, where if you see a subdivision like this and there's no sold comps, like literally nothing to comp because it's such a unique little, cluster. And there are spaces like they are here, south, southeast. And you can kind of get a good idea. Then I'll look at sold homes to see if the values are the same in those two as mine. And if that's true, then I can comp the land pretty similar. If I see the land is selling for more in this little subdivision, I can assume the land is going to be more expensive. Unfortunately for this one, again, there's no sold actual homes as well. And it's not like a tried and true thing, but it's a really good indication.
Cool.
Yeah, so just to touch on that, do you price the land at like 10 to 20% of the home's value? What do you use as a percentage there?
So I actually don't I don't use it to price the land. I'm just saying, like, is there any way I can lose money? So I would say, just looking at the rest of the comps, like, my general thought would be 20, 25 is what I could sell it for. Now let me just double check the homes to make sure they're all going for the same price. Now, if the homes were, let's say they're all going for 400,000 here and they're selling for 200,000 in my subdivision, that would give me pause. Like, okay, something's up here. I'm just looking for further confirmation that is correct.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a cool strategy. The way I have used houses in the past, and it's definitely just a hard, fast rule. It's nothing perfect, but the industry standard is typically 20% of a home's value will be dedicated to the acquisition of land. That varies so much though. Like if you're in a super hot market, sure, people will pay 20%. If you're in the middle of nowhere, odds are people are not going to be paying 20% of what a home's worth. And so we might be closer to like 10% there. But I think if you're listing a property at 10% of what the homes are trading for, you're probably in a pretty good spot, as long as it's actually feasible to develop the property that you have. I think that's where a lot of people get kind of crossed up, is they see that there's a house down the road that sold for 400. So they say, hey, at 10%, mine's worth 40, but your property would require an insurmountable amount of work to get actually in a build ready state. So it's something to think about. So we're going to sort through what's listed out here, price low to high. You're going to get a big variance just because we're getting a little bit of everything over here. But this is our competition, right? 3.36 acres at 23.9 is probably the closest thing to us. And so at this point, I'm just going to make kind of like an apples to apples comparison and just see if this is even similar to ours. Now you can see like the marketing on this one's pretty crappy. It does have 2 streams on the property, which is definitely a selling point if it's marketed correctly. The way this is done is kind of, but you can see there's like a flat building site on it. It's actually not a bad lot with 2 streams. It's priced pretty well. This is also in Wolf Mountain. How long has this been listed for? This got listed in September. Huh. Yeah, this is an okay deal. So the next thing that I'm going to do, just kind of filter through here. Yeah, it's got a lot of the same. We're going to come over, take a look at your property. So one of the things when I'm looking at a subdivision like this, just a couple concerns, and you see this a good amount in North Carolina in particular. Sorry, my internet's horrible here. This will load in a second. But when I'm looking at these subdivisions, if there's no actively listed inventory and there's no sales, it definitely gives me a little bit of cause for concern. It's definitely not a deal breaker. But the next thing that I want to look at is, has anyone actually developed in a subdivision? And from what I could see, that there was absolutely no development. And it looks like that's very much the case. Maybe there's someone up here that's done a little something. It doesn't look like it's anything substantial, and it's not even permitted. So that's definitely concerning, right? Like there's just no activity out here. It's probably for a good reason. Like there's one subdivision in particular in North Carolina where there's like a moratorium on building, and we were buying these properties, and then we found out there's a moratorium. It's like they're just worth nothing. We bought the lot for $1, so we still made money on it. But it's something you want to look into some of these subdivisions. Some of them too have like really shady histories of like money laundering or swindling, particularly in North Carolina. This has come up a few times. And so there's just a real stigma attached to those subdivisions. So something just to be mindful of. We're going to pull up the topo map here and take a look at the topography. I can already tell from the 2D map that this thing's going to be pretty wonky in terms of how it sits. Like speaking of double closing, this could be a double close candidate. This guy probably has no other prospects of selling the land. Maybe you get it under contract at 8 and list it at 15 and capture, $7,000 spread in between. Might not be a bad way just to get your feet wet and just kind of try it out. I don't think I would have very much conviction to actually close on this. Yeah.
North Carolina
isn't the worst topography.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
so
also pretty flexible with double. Yeah. And I think in North Carolina, like Merritt seems to do it everywhere, but you can pretty easily get your properties on the MLS even if you don't hold title to them. This isn't the worst topography I've ever seen by any means. I mean, you've got some areas where you could certainly build. It's just not fantastic. And like sometimes what I'll do when I'm talking to sellers and the topography is kind of funky is I might do this on a call and then send them an email with visuals just to kind of confirm what I was explaining on the call. But you might say, hey, only this chunk of land right here is usable. And then you calculate that and come to find out that's 0.75 acres. Hey, I'm going to make you an offer for 0.75 acres. I can't make you an offer for 3 acres because the remaining 2.25 acres just aren't really usable. That's an interesting way to make an offer that's substantially lower and kind of get them on board with it. Doesn't always work, but I think it's like a fair way to present a counter offer. Because truth be told, a lot of this land, there's just not much you can do with it. The next thing that we'll do here is we'll spend a little bit of money on you. We'll pull up a property detail report. Just because potentially see what the property was bought for, which doesn't look like it's going to give us. It must have been a while ago. Assessed value is $9,000. And then let's look at the legal description. The Retreat at Mountain High. So that's the name of the subdivision. You can always find the subdivision name typically in the legal description. Lot number 1. The assessed value obviously isn't everything by any means. The funny thing is what I've typically found in North Carolina is assessments are really high relative to what properties sell for. Just interesting that this is assessed pretty darn low, $9,000. I would have expected this to be assessed a little bit higher just because it is North Carolina and they like to throw out pretty big assessments. So I think everyone else's feedback on this was pretty darn accurate. I don't think I would want to move forward with this. I still wouldn't give up on the lead, though. I might call him back and just explain to him the situation. Hey, I sent a scout out, or here's the topo maps. Very little of the property is actually usable, blah, 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 blah. And in a lot of cases, like the first go around in terms of making a counter offer or talking to them is not the last go around. And if you do want to try to make something happen here, I'm sure you could. If you lock this up at $5,000, you could easily sell this at 15, like all day long. And I don't think it'd be that difficult to get them down to 5. And if not, you could try a double close, but at 8, I wouldn't use any money on this. And I don't think you could get this funded by any deal funder. So a good start nonetheless. Let's pull up this other listing here up in Gilmore County. It's funny. I've actually sent mail to Gilmore County and I got so many leads. It was absurd. And I ended up not buying a single property out there.
If there's at the end of this call, if there's any time, I have a super unique one that I'm 99% sure is not a thing, but there's just something in the back of my head that it's just there and I just want extra eyes. All right.
Yeah. I think this is a good call to do some deal review. There seems to be the theme to that.
Send it to me, Chris.
All right. So I'm
All right.
This guy. Okay. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to share my screen here. So it sounds like Preston, you already gave this one the no treatment. Is that right? You're not going to move forward with this?
Yeah.
Cool. And why was that?
So I priced it. My offer was 16,000, like 265, I think was for this, which would have been, it was, I think it was well priced for that neighborhood, but it was interesting. Like all the comps that are off these main roads, there's a decent amount of comps and that offer was closer to market price is what it seems like to me based off those comps, and I wouldn't negotiate.
Okay. So yeah, this one, I mean, I'm not sure how you presented your counter with them. This one would be pretty easy to counter. And the reason that the values are low here, has what's known as platted road access. So that means on the plat map, when they created the subdivision, they platted this road in, but they never actually cut this road in. So there's actually no access, physical access to this property. Legally, you could go park your car and walk through the woods and try to stay along this quote unquote platted road, but there's no way to actually get to the lot. And so that's why the values are super low here. I'm actually surprised anyone is buying land back here. Maybe there is a road cut in that we just can't see through the foliage.
I think there is. I talked to him.
I think so.
I mean, yeah, I talked to him. He said he can get back there with this 4x4. And I messed around with the maps, and I looked like I could see a really shitty road.
Yeah, so you do see an entrance right here. Because yours is so far back. I mean, maybe it could. Let's look at the topography. Maybe that will tell us something. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of a ridiculous expectation on his part. So if you got land in there that had like one of these actually nice cut in roads, what were those going for at the same acreage range?
So those were going for like around 8,000 or 8,500 an acre, I believe.
Cool. And this is a 3 acre lot, or is it a 4 acre?
That was 4 acres. Yeah. 4.28. Yeah.
Cool. Wow, this is crazy town. Yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a road there. I don't know, man. Yeah, there's a bit of a road here. Bit of a road there. Yeah, maybe it does go there. It definitely looks pretty wacky. Yeah, I mean this one's just that's a quick no-go there. Maybe put him in your CRM and shoot him a follow-up in 3 months, 6 months, something like that. But got one listed here at 18 that's closer to the main road. It looks like it's a little bit smaller. But to get something like this to move, you'd probably need to sell it on pretty cheap financing terms or list it like, I don't know, 12, 14, something like that. Yeah, this is going to pull up the listing. Okay. All right, Chris, you want to pop in your deal?
Oh, yeah. I just sent it to Riley.
Appreciate the breakdown.
I'll send it to Slack and chat.
Yeah, of course, man.
I can Venmo you for that property report you pulled, so don't worry about it.
Oh, that 99 cents, man. I'm going to need.
Got you.
That's right. Okay.
All right,
Maricopa, Arizona.
It's Maricopa County. Yeah, Maricopa County. So,
Yep.
I'll give you a little bit about this guy. So this is like something that I just like have no interest in. Usually, when it's like butt fuck nowhere, like it's an easement property. However, the city of Buckeye is doing a whole bunch of development, and there are some like bigger purchases around here that are happening. And there's a company, SAC Capital, that just came, or SAC Partners, that just came in and pretty much purchased the mountain range thing. It's just south of this property. So this guy owns the 20 acres, so 5, 5, and 10. And SAC Properties just came in and purchased this mountain. I don't know if people know shit that I don't know, or like what it is. But it's like, I don't know. It just has me thinking. Last night I went to bed and I was like, fuck this, not a deal. And then I was like, I should probably look more into it. I asked Michael, same thing. He looked at it for like 2 seconds. Anyway, just tell me I'm wrong and we'll move on.
Yeah. Okay. So
I got some input.
Here's some input.
Okay, let's hear it, Rylan.
The city Tonopah or whatever, that's where Bill Gates wants to put his smart city. That's where he's buying up all that land. Have you heard of the smart city?
Way.
Yeah,
I've heard briefly. Yeah. I didn't know it was in Tonopah.
Yeah, so that like all that area is super hot right now. People think they can get hundreds of thousands for their 5-acre lots out there. So like that's what's going on right now. There's a bunch of hype with it, but that city's not going to happen for another 100 years.
Right.
So
if at all.
Yeah.
Totally. My thing was
Yeah.
just, is there hype enough to capitalize for the next 30 days, while I sell it? So I'm not holding it for
Wait,
years.
what's your contract? What's your
So
contract
I
price?
actually mailed him for a different city, a different area. And he was like, well, I got these 3 up in Maricopa because I didn't want the other one. And he was like, I don't know, tell me what you think. Somewhere like 200K. I was like, I'll look at it. It looks like
Oh my.
for the all 20, it looks like they it's pretty close to market. I think market's probably for that is like 280 maybe. So it's like not enough to close. Seems like they're trading from 14 to 15K an acre over there. Unless there's something I'm missing, or this like weird ass mountain range that just got purchased up by SAC Partners. Like, is that desirable? It seems like it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, the mountain range play is weird. I don't know if maybe it's like a mineral play or something like that.
I have
I
no
just
idea.
pulled up. Have you looked into SAC Partners?
I did. I couldn't find like where they were. There's SAC Capital Partners and then SAC Partners.
Yeah,
I don't know
SAC
if it's the same.
Capital Partner. Pre-development.
Out here,
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they do.
I don't know.
So
What I
they're
was gonna
definitely
do.
not. Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. What I was gonna do is I pulled just their information for SAC Capital, and their mailing address just to see like what state they're in. Here it is.
Yep.
So they're in Atwood, Mesa. So I don't think it's SAC Capital Partners. And I was just at least gonna call them and be like, hey, you bought that mountain. Do you want the one above it too? And see. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a play to like, at least probe further and try to connect the dots. I would definitely not close on anything like this. If you zoom out, right, like you could see how the natural kind of path of progress for a Phoenix would be to go across a White Tank Mountain. I don't know if that's what it's called. Like into that area because it's all open, undeveloped. Like you could see, like, I don't know, a couple of decades from now, maybe that does get developed. A ton of flood zones running through there. That might hinder some of the development in the area.
I think they're all 100-year. I don't think there's any floodway.
What up?
I think they're all 100-year floodplains. I don't think there's any floodways.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if those are any active ones, but yeah, I definitely would not close on it for 200. I'm not spending 200,000 for that shit. But anyway, it just kept me up at night. That's all I wanted. I just needed to sleep.
Is there
better.
anything listed there?
No, you mean massive things. You got like 120 acres listed. You have 20 acres closer to the freeway for $3 million, which that's not a comp.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have shit listed, so it's like you can't comp it.
And there is an easement to get to this property.
I don't remember. Let me see. I don't think there's a legal easement now.
I'm just trying.
But there wasn't to get to the other one sold either.
Right. Dude, I am so curious what their play is buying a ridge of a mountain.
Right?
I don't know, maybe there's
kept me up at night.
Yeah, it is super weird. I mean, there used to be like a lot of mining operations out here in this part of Arizona. So I don't know, maybe there is some like precious metal play that's going on. What's weird is I don't know. Yeah, it's SAC Partners, SAC Capital Partners. They do like rezoning and land acquisition. I don't know if that's them. I don't know. Maybe they're planning on developing something up. Yeah, it might be different.
What's their mailing address?
And this would be like almost possible land.
Their mailing address is 7324 South Atwood, ATWOOD, Mesa, Arizona.
Gotcha. Let's pull up the topography here. Yeah, I mean, I would try to get in touch with them and either, hey, are you interested? And B, can you answer my question? Why are you guys even buying land out here? Just would be curious to know.
I found it.
I mean, if you found them?
Marine Mineral LLC is connected to them.
See, it's a mineral play. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right.
Dude, maybe there's minerals in the other mountain, though.
right?
Do you know if he owns the mineral rights?
What's up?
You should find out if he owns the mineral rights.
Yeah, I will.
There could be a mineral.
Huh. Okay. I'll check. But no, thank you, guys. This is just making me sane. Again, I know this is like not something that I even
Yeah.
think about. This is like not my wheelhouse at all.
No, I mean, when I see deals like this, I pretty much instantly turn away, and I often do think I've probably left money on the table by not pursuing further. But I look at everything pretty systematically. I'd rather just have things kind of flow through in a very unified order and do similar deals so they can go through the machine and not cause too much friction. Pretty much just as a rule of thumb, though, anytime I see oddities like this, like weird landlocked purchases with nothing going on out there, I pretty much always assume it's a mineral play. And it sounds like that's probably the case here. But since yours is somewhat similar, I don't know. Maybe you got some minerals up in there. I would find out. Odds are he probably doesn't own the mineral rights. I would just venture to guess, but maybe not. Maybe he does. Now, I don't even know how you'd go about valuing selling the mineral rights. I'm not sure. You definitely would need to get some outside help and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Well, thanks guys for entertaining and humoring me.
Yeah. Anyone got any additional deals they want to go through before we hop out of here?
I've got one.
All right, throw it in.
How much longer you got in Hawaii?
I got 2 more weeks.
That's
If
solid.
I
That's
don't
solid.
extend my trip out here, which is plausible, I might not want to leave.
Don't blame you.
Okay, what you got out here in Tennessee?
So we're in Bledsoe County, Tennessee. This is a prison right here. And
That's always good. You always want to be
yeah.
near a national park or a prison.
Yep. So there's this county road that goes all the way out here, and there's just this one property right here, and it's along a river. I don't know how big the river.
What acreage? What size is this?
It's 9 acres.
9 acres.
For
What part of Bledsoe County is it in? Riley, what town is this in? Oh, you're
It's
zooming out.
outside of Pikeville.
Pikeville. Is it by Saratoga Springs?
Yeah.
You said it's 9 acres?
Yeah.
And what's
But
the contract
there's no
price?
power. So I would have bought this, but there's no power.
Okay. What's the contract price?
10,000.
$10,000?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I don't think you go wrong buying nine acres anywhere in the southeast for about $1,000 an acre. I just think that's probably a slam dunk. Let's go take a look though. Is it by Mooneyham? Where the heck is this? Can you zoom out a little bit? Zoom out a little more.
Yeah.
So there's Mooneyham. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that one
right.
subdivision. Yeah.
Some prison land. Okay, so I think you got a hot one on your hands, is what I'm thinking. So take this back a year. There is a subdivision where definitely all the activity is going on. What's the scoop on this subdivision? This
What prison is that next to?
I don't know.
Are you familiar with it? You've been there before or what?
Yeah.
Well, time it
Vacation there a few times.
He's got a escape plan. They're gonna go down the river.
Yeah. No, you could start offering that as a service though. Start breaking people out of jail and get out on your property. That's a side hustle. Get some cash flow from that land. Okay, so Long Branch Lakes HOA. That's like the main little subdivision. $75 a month, so kind of expensive. That's like where all the sales are going on. anytime I see an HOA or a POA, I pretty much always assume that's going to detract from the value. So if I can see that, hey, you know, a 4.83 acres trading for, call it, what would this sell for, $49,000 in a subdivision, similar topography, similar features in terms of like what the land's got on it. I would say, hey, let's call that, say it's trading at 10K an acre. Yours is probably trading a little bit higher since it's quote, quote, unrestricted. There's an 11 acre that sold for 52 in that subdivision. There's definitely a wide spread of what you see selling out here in the subdivision, but I just don't see how you possibly go wrong.
There's power to these ones, though. You know, there's all those subdivisions.
Yeah, for sure. What do people want more though? Power and covenants, or unrestricted and no power?
And a creek or river, whatever this is.
Right. I don't think the power parts. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if it's me looking at it, if I'm looking for some land and I'm trying to, like, people who are going off grid, they want to homestead, they want to buy land and do whatever they want. Like me and everyone else I know is looking for no restrictions. And then a lot of people do solar anyways, so it's just, it might be a different.
Right.
I'd be like, screw it, no restrictions. We're gonna get solar regardless. You know, we're gonna put a water wheel on the creek or something. Well, big for anyone who's actually trying to, you know, be self-sufficient and live.
Put a water wheel on the creek. It's Amish style, baby. So yeah, dude, I mean, I think there's no way you lose here, right? Like, your margin of safety is so high. I mean, what worst case you sell it at 25 grand? I mean, this property would fly off the shelves at 25 grand. There's nothing even remotely. First off, there's no properties actively listed out there even in that size range. You've got like a lot of 2 acres, 1 acres, 57, 97 acre, 167 acre. There's nothing that's even in that size range. But like all the 1s and 2s are listed at like 35 grand. So yeah, you don't lose on that deal. I would close that in a hot second.
All right.
I would not be surprised, and you should report back to us. I would not be surprised if you sell that for 50 grand.
Got it.
So nice little
take some action.
Yeah, get that one locked up.
Rylan, is it forested or is
all right, gents?
There?
It's forested. There's quite a bit of topography, but on that northern section, it's a little flatter and it's along the river.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there's a good little building spot.
No.
Anyone who has any type of land, at least a couple acres of pasture, and then there might be some forested stuff, like Tennessee, West Virginia. The biggest thing that I'm looking for, like, sure, I got to close some deals before I go out, spend all my money on some land. But if you do have something cool, the more pasture, the better. At least like maybe 3 acres of pasture. That's what I'm looking for minimum, just so I could get some goats and such. So if you see anything like that, that'd be cool. I do know how to turn forest into pasture, but it's really time consuming. So just putting that out there. I like that area in Tennessee.
Awesome.
Oh man, yeah, I'll keep you in if anything comes up. Well, guys, anything else before we hop off here? That's it. All right. Well, everyone have a great rest of your week. I'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Later.